What's up, y'all? In today's modern age, everywhere you look, there's people trying to improve. Everyone's waking up at 5 a.m. and drinking fancy water, reading Atomic Habits, journaling about their inner child, cold plunging, meditating, listening to motivational podcasts while doing laundry, and yet somehow everyone still feels lost. It's wild. We're living in the most self-help aware generation ever, but at the same time, the most anxious, directionless, burned out, overstimulated, and disconnected. So what's going on? Why does it feel like we're all doing this work and nothing is actually changing? Today we're talking about the rise of fake improvement, and the kind that looks good on camera, feels productive, and it'll trick your brain into thinking that you're getting better. But deep down, these people are really not. So let's break it down. I feel like self-improvement just used to be simple. Like it was sleep more, eat better, exercise, stop doing dumb things, fix bad habits. But now it's a full-on aesthetic in 2025, and it kind of has been for a while now. Like we got that girl morning routines, the desk set up with the RGB lights, smoothie bowls, journaling prompts, matching gym fits, minimalistic TikTok productivity edits, and day in my life as a 20-something-year-old trying to get my life together type vlogs. And don't get me wrong, it can look great, but that's the problem. It just looks great. A lot of people are performing improvement instead of doing actual improvement, because real improvement is usually pretty ugly, and it's boring, it's repetitive, it's uncomfortable, and it usually sucks most of the time. But TikTok and Instagram makes it look like therapy and skincare plus new notebooks, and that somehow equals enlightenment. And this is the core difference and why it gets so many people. Like the fake improvement will make you feel like you're leveling up. You're just buying new habits, watching aesthetics, reading quotes, making plans, consuming content, reset days every week, pretending you're organized, journaling instead of solving problems. But real improvement is going to actually change your life, and that's doing the uncomfortable work, developing discipline, giving up things that numb you, addressing your traumas, creating systems, being brutally honest with yourself, doing things even when you don't want to, and changing how you think, not how your desk looks. And here's the crazy part, a lot of people don't even know they're stuck in fake improvement because it feels real, but nothing really changes. And I feel like we all know someone like this who they say they've been working on themselves forever doing this, but like they're still in the same position as when they started. It's like they haven't really actually moved anywhere. And it's like, well, are you really doing work on yourself, or are you're tricking yourself into it? And this is a truth that most self-help creators will avoid. You can't aesthetic your way out of feeling lost. You can have the perfect morning routine, the perfect morning, the perfect diet, the perfect productivity app, the perfect planner, the perfect mindset quote on your lock screen. But if nothing is changing on the inside and you wake up every day feeling the exact same, then you're not really moving anywhere, because feeling lost doesn't come from lacking habits, lacking discipline, lacking a routine, lacking a nice room, lacking a cute journal. Feeling lost comes from the wrong environment, wrong relationships, the wrong beliefs, wrong goals, wrong identity, lack of meaning, and avoiding inner work, avoiding real responsibility. No morning routine can ever fix that. And to really change and really level up your life, like you want to change everything down to your income, your beliefs, habits, everything, it usually takes a radical change that the perfect morning routine, again, is not going to fix. It has to go a lot deeper than that, and it has to be a lot more uncomfortable, to be honest. But I've been there too. Like there was times I'd convince myself I was improving just because I cleaned my room for once, or I made a good meal, I organized my notes, or I bought some new supplements, or I watched a motivational video. And don't get me wrong, like these things can help, they definitely can, but deep down nothing in my life had truly changed, because I still felt behind, I still felt overwhelmed, I still wanted to use drugs, and I still felt directionless, and I felt like something was missing. And that's when it hit me. I was improving the aesthetics of my life and not the foundation, who I was as a person. And self-improvement will give you a dopamine hit, and it's not from progress, but from the illusion of it. Like for example, you read one chapter of a book and suddenly feel like you fixed your life or have all the answers. Or you rearrange your desk and feel like you're becoming a CEO. Or you made a to-do list and feel productive without doing anything. Fake improvement feels good, real improvement doesn't. But the difference is real improvement sucks in the moment and it feels good after. It's that delayed gratification. And it could be later on after you're done with the task and you're like, all right, I did it. Or it could be weeks from now, because you're planting that seed in the moment and it's going to flourish later on. And real improvement feels like boredom, discomfort, insecurity, sacrifice, loneliness, slow progress, questioning yourself. And that's why a lot of people avoid it. That's why everyone stays lost. I feel these emotions all the time with doing this channel and trying to work on the business. It's not easy. But the improvement is there, the progress is there. A lot of this shit just takes a long time, and real improvement takes a long time. But TikTok and Instagram turn improvement into entertainment. Like you watch other people live perfectly curated lives. You got the perfect morning routine, perfect gym edits, perfect skincare, perfect journaling, perfect productivity layouts, and you might start thinking, I should be doing all that. But here's the thing, none of that guarantees real change. Some of these people have careers making videos like that, and they got the time for that too, and they gotta make it look the best it can, because again, some people's income depends off of that, or they crave the validation and attention that they get off the videos to make up for their own insecurities. I mean, I don't know, there's a few people too on there who just do it to be authentic and actually just want to show off kind of what they're doing and inspire others, which I love that. But in fact, most of these creators probably feel just as lost as their viewers. They're just better at pretending, and self-improvement is now a brand. And the audience, we became addicted to watching improvement rather than doing it. I'd had moments where I'd be scrolling and I'd watch all these people documenting their routines, and I'd start to question myself, should I be doing more? Like, are they ahead of me? Why do they look so put together? Why do I feel like I'm falling apart? We know the answer most of the time, but it's still hard not to ask yourself this stuff, especially when you see it and how curated and well put together some of it is. But the truth is, like, most of them are just better editors. Real growth doesn't need to be filmed, and real change doesn't need to be an aesthetic. Real improvement is internal and invisible at first too. I've also seen the most radical change in people who just disappear and you don't see them forever, and they just pop out the cut randomly, you know, however so long later, just looking completely different, acting different. You can tell that change really happened, and it usually can happen in silence. But the deepest part that we see is that there's people pretending to improve because they don't know who they are. They pick an identity from TikTok or Instagram, whether that's the gym bro, the wellness girl, stoic guy, healing my inner child aesthetic, disciplined entrepreneur, hyper-productive student, spiritual minimalist. These identities aren't real, they're just templates. And people follow them because they're lost. And adopting an identity feels easier than actually building one. But eventually, the mask will crack, and you realize, I don't even know who I am outside of this routine. And that's why people relapse, that's why people fall off, that's why people burn out. You can't build a new life on top of an identity you stole from TikTok. But the part that no one tells you is that real improvement is waking up and doing the same boring habits daily, showing up even when you feel like trash, and having an honest conversation with yourself, cutting off people where there's toxic emotional attachment, getting uncomfortable, sacrificing dopamine, sitting with your emotions, building systems and not aesthetics, taking responsibility, building character. It's never going to be pretty, and it's not viral, and it's not cinematic. It's you facing yourself, and most people avoid that, so they stay lost. The biggest improvements I've made in my life weren't from routines, planners, or journaling. They came from moments where I had to be brutally honest with myself, where I had to admit that I wasn't doing enough. I was avoiding responsibility, I was scared of failure, I was distracting myself, I was pretending instead of growing. And real change came when I stopped curating my life and just started confronting it head on and just took action from there. So I mean, yeah, fake improvement looks good. Real improvement feels like work, because it is. Fake improvement will get likes. Real improvement will get results. Fake improvement will fill your time, and real improvement will transform your life. If you feel lost, you're not broken. You're just surrounded by a world that prioritizes looking better over becoming better. People would rather save face and save their ass. But anyways, I appreciate y'all. This video is a little bit on the shorter end, but if it helped you, drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all soon.